Hello, everybody. I just want I wait because there's no telling when you're actually live. Okay, so I wanted to go live and I was gonna have my usual weekend breakfast, which is one of these mini watermelons. So this is half of that, and I just had a craving to try clove powder on my watermelon, and I've been doing that for a few weeks, and it has such a lovely flavor. You wouldn't think that. You would think that those two flavors would clash, but they don't. They taste wonderful. But I was restocking my clove because I was using a lot of it. I just couldn't get enough. And I ran out, so I wanted to get some more. And I got this, and since I have anemia, so I'm always conscious about how much iron I'm taking in. And I was looking at, so I started, I read everything like, oh, how much iron is in this and how much iron is in that. And I noticed how much iron was in this because I think, does it say good for anemia? Something on here. I think it says it somewhere on here. I don't know, but anyway, I was looking for how much iron. So if you look at the serving size, it's 1/4 of a teaspoon. So per serving, there is 9.4% iron. That is a huge amount. 1/4 of a teaspoon, and you get almost 10% of your daily allowance of iron. That's a lot. And another thing that I like to do is, when I make my coffee, so this is just some, I like using this organic instant coffee or Anthony's, either the espresso baking powder, it's basically just instant coffee. I got this brand, but it just mixes really well with hot or cold water. And so today in this, I make it hot at first because the heat activates the spices that I add. So I'll add like a tablespoon of coffee. I'll add a tablespoon or so of this cacao. This also has, I think, a fair amount of iron. Yeah, 2% per tablespoon. So not a ton, but everything counts. So I get a couple of percents there. I'll put a shake of cardamom, or like 5 shakes of cardamom, 5 shakes of nutmeg. And then I'll put probably 1/4 of a teaspoon of cloves in the coffee. I put about 1/4 to 1/2 a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. I'll put a pinch of black pepper because that helps to activate not only the turmeric, but so black pepper is an activator for not just turmeric, but for cinnamon and cardamom. For a lot of the Indian spices, you want to add black pepper to help them to be more effective. So on the weekend, I'll put turmeric in here. That's why it's kind of that color. But during the week, I do turmeric in a different way. So all of that is in here. I'll put it into a cup, put hot water with the coffee, the chocolate, and all the spices. Let it sit for 10 minutes, and then I will put it over ice and add additional water and just nurse that until it's gone. Yes, you do get like spice residue and stuff at the bottom, whatever. I just keep adding water and ice until it's gone. But anyway, so I wanted to just bring that to everybody's attention, the fact that clove powder per quarter teaspoon has 10%. So if you have, what is that, 2.5? So if you have 2.5 teaspoons of clove powder, that's 100% of the iron that you need for the day. I'm telling you, that's crazy. So I've been testing that out because, my anemia, I'm so reactive to it. I can tell when I need more. If I start getting a little bit of a headache, I know I need to, take in about 10 or 20%. And normally what I would do is I would take molasses because organic blackstrap molasses has 20% iron per tablespoon. And so, if I start getting a headache or noticing my energy levels getting low, I'll put a tablespoon of that with some like lemon juice and whatever, and just put it in water and drink that. And that usually restores me in about a half an hour. So I was like, well, let me test the effectiveness of this. So yesterday I put like probably a half a teaspoon in my coffee. I put like another half a teaspoon on some cantaloupe. And I was just putting it in everything. I like the flavor. If you don't like the flavor, then it is what it is. But I like the flavor. The clove is not as tasty on cantaloupe. On watermelon, it's brilliant. On cantaloupe, it's okay, but it's not the best. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of, all of these things have their benefits. So you can just research all of these things. That's my spiel on it because I wanted to just point out the iron content in cloves. It's just, if anybody's suffering with anemia, you kind of know a quarter teaspoon for 10%. It's brilliant. You can practically just sprinkle this on everything all day and get all the iron you need, especially if you're a vegan or something. I'm not vegan. I do eat steaks and red meat and stuff. I find that red meat is the most assimilatable iron for me. I'm a blood type O. I do ascribe to the blood type food thing. And so for me, the O is the most carnivorous of the blood types. And I do find that I bounce back during my lady times or whatever. I bounce back my energy when I have red meat. So, but if you're vegan, here you go. It really isn't hard. You can put a quarter teaspoon in your water. Like, how I have probably at least a quarter, maybe even half a teaspoon in there. It's coffee, but I had a quarter teaspoon in just some water with ice, and it was lovely. Lemon juice or lemonade or a drink or something, a quarter teaspoon each time, you're getting so much iron. So I'll, you know, actually, I wanted to measure it out because I wanted to show. So I'll put probably at least a fourth of a teaspoon on this half. Then I'm going to have the other half, and I'm probably going to put another quarter teaspoon. I do 10 of those, and I'm going to eat other things for the day that have iron. So it's just, this is like, I'm so excited about cloves. It is one heck of an iron hack. It's fantastic. So, this is far more than a quarter, but this is 1/4 of a teaspoon. And this is, more than that, so I could make it a little more. So that's a quarter teaspoon, sprinkle that on. And that's nothing. I probably put 2 of those on there. So I'll probably put a whole teaspoon on here. And with watermelon, for some reason, the watermelon cancels out the bitterness and the acridness of the clove. And also just water does, but watermelon, like this is a lot. This is probably a half a teaspoon at least. So that's 20% iron. Not to mention how much is in watermelon, which I'm not sure. So yeah, this is going to be delicious. Now, this particular clove shipped directly from Sri Lanka. It is a bit stronger than the previous clove I had. So I want to take a little bite of this and see if I can be as heavy-handed as I have been. So I'm just going to put a lot on my bite. There's a lot, so I'm going to have some. So the sweeter your watermelon, the better. This particular brand of clove, it's strong. Like this is a lot, but I like clove and I like it. I don't if you've seen my other videos or whatever. I like heavily spiced foods, whether that's, not necessarily heat, but like clove and cinnamon and pepper and whatever. And so it doesn't bother me. Now, this is a lot. It is a little bitter. And this particular watermelon isn't as sweet. So the sweeter the watermelon, the less of a, it just depends on what you're into. I like the bitterness. I like that punch. So I'm into it, but put about half as much as I did here, and it's going to be lovely. The clove and the watermelon, I don't know why, but I think this is something they must do in Jamaica or the islands or something. They probably know because it has that tropical flavor. But anyway, give that a try. Yeah, that's a lot. I went overboard, but for me, I'm down for this. I'm down to go this heavy on this. But if you're a newbie or whatever, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna add a little bit of black pepper because, like I was saying, it helps activate all this stuff. But you only need a little. You don't need a ton. And oh, you know what I'm gonna try? Pineapple powder. It's just pure pineapple powder, which melts in. This doesn't have much iron, but it's just pineapple powder. And it dissolves quite well in liquids. Like even like a icy drink or whatever, it dissolves pretty well. I mean, it's more effective if you do it just in plain water and then add your ice and all of that, but I think I wanted to go for something really tropical because I put so much clove on here. I want to just really go for it, and maybe I'll put a little bit in my coffee stuff because so I got the fruit powder because I was reading something, or maybe I was listening to an NDE story or something, and the person was talking about how they had an interaction with an alien being or something, and the alien being would restore himself with, she said, like lemon powders and fruit powders and stuff. And I've used fruit enzymes for digestion. Those are good. And so I was like, let me try these fruit powders. Too much pepper. So I have lemon powder, I have this pineapple powder, and I'm just trying it out. And the pineapple powders, it's very good. So what I'll do is I'll take the pineapple powder and I'll mix it with some coconut, either coconut water or coconut flavored seltzer water for a nice, like, refreshing pina colada thing. And, pineapple is good for your digestion. It has some enzymes in it. I cannot verify. I don't know if it's, once it's in this form, pineapple powder, whether it still maintains its enzymatic properties or whatever. I don't know, but I'm going to assume it does. And I do notice some difference, like when I'm using the pineapple powder and stuff like that in my drinks. I do tend to have better digestion. So, I don't know. Okay, well, that was just a little about my morning routine with my spices and my watermelon, and how cloves are one heck of a source for iron. I've noticed a difference. I have noticed a great boost. I was really feeling down for the past few days. I kind of had a heavy lady days. And I was just really having a hard time coming back. And I usually will just go heavy on steaks or something like that. And I wasn't feeling it, I think, for the last week. And so I really was kind of neglecting that. And so I just decided to go ahead and go heavy with the cloves. And I have noticed a really significant increase in my energy. I felt restored. I'm not 100% or whatever. I do, I have been doing my steaks and meats and things like that to increase it as well. But I think the iron or the cloves have really assisted with my iron. Okay, well, that was everything that I wanted to share. I will leave it at that. If anybody has any comments about cloves or iron or anything related to this topic, leave them down below. I would love to hear about what your experiences are and stuff. And like, comment, and subscribe. All right, thanks. Bye.